Hey, entrepreneurs, are you trying to make bigger profits in your small business? I feel like most of us business owners, increasing your profitability is always on your mind, and you're probably looking for ways to grow your revenue while growing your company. Well, you found a podcast that shares ideas to help you do just that. I'm Marcia Riner. I'm a business growth strategist, and I've been helping tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that guarantees increased profitability, guide your growth, and plans for a future exit. Because building a highly profitable and sale ready business creates a win win scenario. That's more money now and a windfall when it's time to let go. And I want to share strategies that I've learned with you on today's Profit with a Plan podcast. So I'm really excited today. Today you're going to get a special treat. So this is actually a podcast interview that I did with three of my fellow compadres, I guess, in the business world, and they have different angles on profitability. And I want you to listen to the interviews and kind of glean some ideas from it. And so I hope you enjoy this episode of Profit with a Plan podcast. To grow our business, there are endless things that we can do, but the reality is that only 20% of our actions drive 80% of our results. So how do we know the right things to focus and which ones are just wasting our time and getting in the way of a profitable business growth? Today, we've got 4 business growth experts from our upcoming event, Accelerate Now, where we share 12 mistakes that are stalling your growth. I'm Marcia Riner, and I'm joined by Crista Grasso, Darrell Evans, and Annie P. Ruggles, and we're going to share a couple of ideas to get you started. So stay until the end, and we will tell you exactly how to get an actionable guide that can help you implement on these great ideas. Hey, Crista, you're up. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Crista Grasso. I am the founder of the Lean Out Method and the Lean Business Scaling System. And I have been helping businesses simplify and scale for more than 23 years. I specialize in helping businesses get laser focused on the right things to be spending their precious time, money, and energy on so they can scale in simple and sustainable ways. And I'm so excited to be kicking us off today and talking a little bit about the 20% that you should be focused on to drive your 80%.
I'm so glad you're here with us today. So what is one of the biggest mistakes that businesses make that keeps them from focusing on the right things?
So I think the biggest mistake that a business makes that does keep them from focusing on the right things is having clarity on what those things actually are. All too often, what businesses end up doing is they're very busy, they're working really hard, but the things that they're investing their time, their energy, their money, their focus on end up not being the things that are actually going to drive the revenue, the profit, the results, and the impact that they actually want in their business. So I think if you want to avoid this mistake, the very first thing that you have to do is get crystal clear on what the vision is for the business. When you have clarity on your vision, that's going to drive your business model, what you sell, how you show up, how you work with clients. It's going to drive where you and your team invest your time, the things that you do, how you do them. It's going to drive every decision that you make in your business. And when you have a really clear vision, what I call a next level vision, that's going to help you focus on and really get clear on what that 20% is that's going to drive the 80% of actions that you want. Now, when it comes to vision, I hear a lot of business owners say, oh, yeah, I've got a vision. I know where I'm going. However, they either don't really have a clear vision, and I'm going to break down for you the 3 important facets that I think every next level vision needs, or they do have a vision, but it's something that's very separate and disconnected from the things that they and their team spend their time on day to day. And so you both need that clarity of vision, but you also need to connect that down to the actions that you're taking. And you need to make sure that your business model is in alignment. So here's what a next level vision is that really helps set you up for success and for the 20% instead of the wasted 80% of things that don't matter. Number 1, which is the most obvious, you need to have a vision for the business itself. When you look to the future, let's look 10 years into the future. What are you known for? What are you the go-to business for? What is the problem that you solve in the market? And why are you the one that somebody wants to hire and the one that somebody wants to tell someone all about? So I think you really need to be clear about your business of tomorrow and what that business is, what it does, who it serves, all of those facets. But then there's your role. There's you as the owner, as the founder, as the CEO of your business. And what is your role in the future? How much do you want to work? What do you want to be able to do in your life? What I call your rich, fulfilled life. What do you want to be able to do that your business should be enabling? Right. And so, what is your role? Where are you putting your time? And how much of your time is going into your business? And then the third facet is the one that I see people overlook a lot. And I think this is just as critical as the first two. And this is your clients. Who are your customers of tomorrow? If you look 10 years into the future, who are you serving? What are their problems and how have their problems evolved? Do you serve a market like a startup market where you're constantly trying to bring in new customers because your customer of tomorrow, 10 years from now, is going to be somebody different than that person you serve today? Or do your customers grow and scale and evolve along with you? And you really need to be looking at how are you retaining the customers you have today because they might still be the customers you have 10 years from now, or the customers who are telling other people about you 10 years from now. So I think it's really, really important that you're clear on business of tomorrow, your role and yourself, where you want to be in the future, as well as your clients. And when you have all three of those facets together, to me, that is a really rich and really clear next level vision. Now, the trick to this is you have to create your vision today from the mindset of the place that you will be 10 years from now. You have to be looking at vision through the lens of the 10-year wiser, 10-year older, and 10-year more seasoned business owner than you are today. And so when you can do that, and you can do that with a lot of clarity, not only does that help you inspire your team to be focused on the right things, it helps you make decisions about your business model and what you should be selling if the things you're focused on today are actually going to drive the results that you want for your clients, not just today, but the clients of tomorrow. And it really does help you simplify everything. So you are focused on your 20% that drives your 80%. Now, once you have this clarity of vision, once you know exactly what you should be doing, what your team should be doing, where you're going, if the decisions you're making and the actions you're taking are directionally aligned, well, what do you want to do next? Well, Marcia at the beginning of this episode mentioned that there is going to be a guide that you can grab, and it's going to walk you through how to actually take action on the concepts that each of us are going to be talking about. So, inside that guide, you are going to find the questions that you can ask yourself to get really clear on your next level vision across all three facets. It's a lot of really great introspective questions that you can go through yourself, and you can even then go through or share the results with your team, and it will really help you gain that clarity. All right, so once you have that vision in place, now you need to generate leads. And so that's going to bring up Darrell Evans. Darrell, welcome. I'm excited for you to be sharing all of your lead generation magic. Can you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Hey, Krista, thanks so much for introducing me to the program. Hey, everyone. My name is Darrell Evans, and for the last 32 years, I've been an entrepreneur. And more specifically, for the last 12 years, I have been the CEO and co founder now of Yokel Local Internet Marketing. We're a digital marketing agency here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we have been helping small and mid sized companies grow and scale their businesses online to the tune north of $300 million. And I'm excited to be here with you today.
Awesome. Now you are a lead generation expert to the extreme, which is amazing. And we all know that lead generation is it's the lifeblood of a growing small business. And so what's one of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when it comes to generating a steady stream of quality leads on a daily basis?
It's a great question, Krista. Over the last 12 years, probably the biggest mistake isn't the rising costs of what it costs on Google to run ads or Facebook ads. It's not having the proper landing page or funnel. It's actually not even the budget that someone brings to the game. These are a lot of myths that you hear a lot of marketers talk about out there. The number one problem and issue that we have to deal with lead generation is the business being invisible in plain sight. What do I mean by that? I'm going to take you to a quick story in 2008 9. I used to live in this apartment, and from my apartment balcony, I could throw a rock and literally hit the back of this one building. In that building happened to be a soul food restaurant. Now, I'm a soul food eater. And in that same shopping center were other restaurants, grocery stores, and some other, convenience stores. I'm in this shopping center every single week, and I never knew the soul food restaurant was there. Why? Because they assumed that because they were in a great traffic location, they were going to be seen and visible. So the number one problem is they don't realize businesses, small, medium, and large businesses get it. They don't realize that the reticular activator system in our brain has a job to do, and that's to filter the noise. So small business owners must understand that they must be visible first before they can start generating leads. To make this problem a little bit worse is that they don't realize that the vast majority of their entire customer pool or entire customer population largely are not even ready to buy today. They are what we call either dormant buyers, or they don't have yet a triggering event that would move them closer to your world to actually become a lead. I like to call it the iceberg theory. And what that simply means is if you know the science of icebergs, they say that 10% of the iceberg sits above the water where you can see it. Well, I like to call that the active marketplace that's seeking a solution that you can provide. The challenge is everyone is chasing the visible buyer, right? So if you're invisible as a business owner, but then when you go after the visible customer, you actually amplify the problem. So what we want to do is think about how do we become visible, not just to the customer or the prospect who's actively searching, but how do we actually become more visible to those who haven't even begun the journey yet? If we look at big brands, we see it all day. Nike doesn't advertise shoes on Instagram. They advertise the athletes who benefit from the shoes. Now, I'm not trying to compare all of our small business customers to Nike or Adidas or Starbucks, etc. But we do have to pay attention to the fact that we're invisible in plain sight, most of us. And more importantly, the way to generate leads is to build a relationship in advance of the need that they may have. Let me tell you another quick story, and then I'll get to what I think is a great solution for anybody listening today that anyone can act on. And that is everyone listening to this, especially if you're in North America, you've probably seen on television in your local market an advertisement for a personal injury attorney. I bet you right now, if you're sitting there, just think about it. You probably know the advertisement, you know the business name and the phone number of a personal injury attorney in your market. Well, why is that? Well, the personal injury attorneys have figured out that they have to be known in advance of the potential of you having an accident that could need their service. That's an extreme example because no one's going to walk around with a Rolodex of personal injury attorneys in their pocket. But how can us small businesses do the same thing? How can we be known and visible and cut through the natural filtering of our reticular activator system? Well, this discovery over the last 20 years has led me to come up with a system, especially now digital, what I call dollar a day social media advertising. They work very similar to billboard ads, TV ads, and radio ads, except for most small businesses, you can literally start with $1 a day. What this can help you do is handle the 90% of people, get in front of the 90% of people who may have not even yet begun the journey to your product or service, but it's going to help you cut through the reticular activator system, build brand, like we were talking about with Nike earlier, and start to build a relationship. I'll close by saying this. Most people agree, when I talk to them in the last 12 years, that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And because we all seem to agree that that's true, then what can we do if we want to generate more leads steadily and consistently for our business? And that's why I created the dollar a day ad system. And as mentioned earlier by Marcia, we are putting together a guide. And so I'm going to teach you exactly how to start your dollar a day campaign today. So once you are running these visibility ads and moving down the path to lead generation, there's a really important step that you must take to make sure that this all works through lead generation and sales conversion. And for that, I'd love to introduce Annie P. Ruggles.
Thank you for setting me up so perfectly there, Darrell. Hey, y'all. I am Annie P. Ruggles. I am the founder of the Non Sleazy Sales Academy and QuirkWorks Consulting. And my specialty is helping people sell with every single inch of their integrity, values, and personality intact, even introverts and even empaths. And QuirkWorks Consulting helps people shine, polish, and leverage the authenticity that they work so hard to bring to their work every single day. But I am absolutely passionate about helping people convert the leads that they work so hard to get.
Annie, it's so amazing. I really appreciate the work you're doing in the marketplace. Can you tell us what is one of the easiest ways that you see business owners squandering their leads, and how can they easily fix it?
Please don't call your conversion event something boring. It doesn't have to be cutesy. It doesn't have to be clever, but it does need to be actionable. The main problem I'm seeing out here in this space is, especially to your point previously, Darrell, we're working so hard on the know, like, and trust factor. We're bringing them in. We're showing them our value. We're magnetizing them to us. And then the encouragement after we've given them some great resource or they've heard us have a great conversation is we say, would you like to have a curiosity call or, heaven forbid, a free consultation? That tells me nothing. That tells me absolutely zip about you, and it shoots your differentiation in the foot. So know, like, trust, as Darrell mentioned before, is critical. The know is that you exist. That's your visibility campaigns, your awareness campaigns. The like, those are your differentiators, your authenticity, your transparency, your special spark, and a lot of your social. But the trust is not only trusting your ethics. That is a big part of it. The trust is that you are the right person for the job. The easiest way to prove that, even more effective than social proof, is to solve a stinking problem. Right? Even though it's a sales call, they know it's a sales call. We don't need to bury or hide the fact that it's a sales call. We can say, and at the end of the call, we'll discuss how we might work together. That's fine. But by calling it a curiosity call, a clarity call, or a free consultation, we're not incenting them to give up their most precious resource, which is actually not their money, it's their time. Right? So, what I want you all to do to stop squandering those leads is actually call the call what it is. Choose a micro problem that you will solve before you even start to fully sell. Before the pitch comes out of your mouth, what's the problem that you solve? Call the call that thing. Darrell was just talking about his dollar a day lead strategy. A lot of us are very completely bamboozled, confused by our ad stats. One thing that Darrell could do, for example, is call it a demystify your last campaign call. Already, I have a reason to give up my time. Already, in a sea of competitors offering a free ad consultation, Darrell would stand out that way. So we are drawing in, we are magnetizing know, like, trust. And we are setting up for what I call the ecosystem of sales, which is actually seen, safe, and supported. But they cannot feel that until they have full confidence in your ability to partner with them to solve a problem. Explain the problem, you get around the objection of, oh, great, just another sales call. So that's what I have for all of you today. But if you go into the free guide that we have now all talked about, I'm going to help you pinpoint exactly what that problem could be that sets you up for success and is the glue between your social and ad campaigns and the program or service that you're selling. But once you get there, you have to remember why you're doing this in the first place. This isn't a hobby. This is a business. And for that, I turn to the queen of profit, Marcia Riner. Hi, Marcia. Welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, everybody, it's Marcia Riner again. I wanted to introduce myself a little bit. I am a business growth strategist and CEO of Infinite Profit Consulting. And for over 25 years, I've been helping business owners grow wealth. And they come to me looking to double or triple their net profit. Yeah, you heard me right. My Profit Booster method provides step-by-step pathway to profit with a strategy and tactics that actually drive growth and boost profit fast.
Big question for you there, Marcia. Before we double or triple our profit, we should probably make some, stop squandering it, stop ruining our possibility of making some. What mistake of profit have you brought us?
The biggest mistake that business owners do that kill their profits is their focus. Where they're spending their most incredible time is really the most important piece. Did you realize that 80% of business owners are only spending 20% of their time on the areas that are producing 80% of the profit? It's kind of like wasting the other 80% of your time. And here's why. The wrong focus. A lot of founders spend too much time here. These aren't bad areas to focus on. They're just not going to move the needle quickly. The first one is like the latest trends, AI, social posting, video shorts, chasing other squirrels. Maybe you're doing more, that one more call, one more email, one more meeting. Wouldn't a more effective approach be better? And then the final piece that they're focusing on that is wrong is that they're doing the job and not leading it. What is your time really worth, right? So here's the right places to focus on. Where you spend your time is so important. I know a lot of you do, right? And here's what I suggest is making small incremental changes in the areas that produce the biggest impact to your profit. When making these little incremental improvements to these important areas, you can boost your profit exponentially. And it's all about the profit booster, which is my pathway to profit. And it's the areas that you focus on that you should be spending those 80% of your time. So here are some of the areas that I think need your attention. And the first area is people and processes. This actually frees up your time when they're running at their best. The second place is leads and conversions. This is where people are entering into your business. You'll need a continual flow, and it's so easy to improve on. The third place is your offers. So you really need to focus on what you're doing. And there are so many little itty bitty changes that you can make that will really blow up your cash flow. And then finally, the financials, right? And here is the super important reason why you need to know this. You need to know what your money is doing for your growth. And it requires that you monitor your revenue and your expenses. And it's the key to your profitability. So I know there's a lot in here. There's the don'ts and then the do's and then a couple under each. But I have a really simple guide that will open up your eyes to the hidden traps that are inside of your business that you need to focus on and will help you move better and easier into the right areas. Do you think that would increase your profit? I know it will. So go download that report right now.
Thanks so much, Marcia. Really loved the value that each one of you has shared. I encourage all of you to go out and grab that guide that's going to take everything we talked about today and give you some ways to take action on it. You're going to be able to find that over at joinaccelerate.now.com. And while you're there, I'd love to invite you to join us for our upcoming Accelerate Now event. We are going to be diving way deeper into what we talked just a little bit about today, and we're going to be walking you through how to avoid the 12 costly mistakes that are slowing your growth. So if you got value out of this discussion, you'll really love what we're going to be diving into for Accelerate Now. Again, head over to joinaccelerate.now.com to grab that guide and to go ahead and join us for our upcoming event.
Wow. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Profit with a Plan podcast with my with my fellow podcast hosts and guests, Crista Grasso, Darrell Evans, and Annie P. Ruggles, as they joined me, and we spoke about the things that are getting in your way on growing your profitability. So one more thing I want to add to this little piece here is that we've got a great event coming up that I think you want to attend. No, I know you want to attend. It's called Accelerate Now, and we're going to be sharing, the four of us are going to be sharing 12 strategies that can help you grow your profitability, get into the position so that you can have the growth that you're looking for. And, the funny thing is it only takes one strategy, but you're getting 12 to choose from. It's open for Saturday on June 17th from 9 a.m. to 11 and noon Eastern for you guys on the East Coast. And you can go register right now and get more information about it at joinaccelerate.now.com. I encourage you to go. And while you're at it, here is a super discount code that you can use to get your tickets at like 75% off, which is only $27. You can go and type in the code SUPER with a capital S, and you'll be able to get that discount. So I encourage you to go check it out. It's a super Saturday. What better thing to spend a couple of powerful hours on a Saturday morning learning about how to really shift the needle on your business and watch for growth. So thank you for watching. As always, you can catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit.